Pinpoint Doppler 12 Futurecast.
Well, we are still keeping an eye on that potential record-breaking morning that we have going right now with those low temperatures. Let's check on that. We're still at 8 degrees. The record is 4, so still 4 degrees away from that. It's possible we drop another few degrees while we are on the air, and of course we will let you know if we end up tying or breaking that record. Unfortunately, I do not have any confetti prepared to fall from the ceiling should that happen. And I think actually most of us would prefer not to break this record. Right now, winds are out of the west at 5 miles an hour. Other temperatures checking in, mostly single digits right now. 1 in Coventry, 8 westerly, 8 in Innergret, 14 balmy degrees right now on Newport. Certainly the kind of morning where you want to bundle up from head to toe. We're going to fast forward to Sunday because we sort of have a pre-storm and then our main event on Monday. Tomorrow, not really that big a deal. We'll see a rain-snow mix developing into the afternoon. By nighttime, we're all snow. In terms of our Sunday accumulations, not much, about a dusting to an inch of snow. Now on Monday, that's when we are expecting the slightly more significant snow to arrive. And I want to use the air quotes for significant because, I mean, the computer models are all over the place. We still need to look at more data to really make the final call on accumulations. Some of our computer models really have rather light accumulations showing up, so that's certainly a possibility. Basically, what we're looking at is Monday morning through the early afternoon. That's when the steadiest of snow would be. By the evening, we taper off to snow showers, and final totals at this point look light to moderate. I'll put up the numbers coming up in just a minute. Right now on the satellite picture, you can see relatively clear conditions. We'll get a few clouds popping through here today, and you know, it's not going to matter too much this morning because it's just so cold whether you get sunshine or not. I want to take you all the way over to California. Some spots in California getting over 6 inches of rain from the storm, so obviously a bad situation with flooding and terrible mudslides going on. I mean, they needed it because of the drought, but they did not need all of it at once. Now, part of this energy actually will move across the country and ride right along a frontal boundary that will basically trigger some of the heavy snows. And really the toughest part of the forecast is determining where this narrow strip of very heavy snow will set up. I think somebody will get thumped, potentially 6 to 12 inches of snow, but the question is, does that happen in southern New Jersey? Is it Long Island, New York City, or does it work its way into northern New England? And that's the really tricky part of this forecast. Where that narrow strip of heavy snow sets up, that really makes the determination on what we're going to see with our forecast. And we really still need to look at more information throughout today and potentially into tomorrow to figure out where that heavy, narrow strip of snow will set up. Here's what one of our computer models says about tomorrow. Again, we go into tomorrow afternoon, a rain-snow mix, not much in the accumulation department. Then notice what happens by Sunday night. You can see snowfall starts to pick up a bit into early Monday morning. Speaking of Monday, the very early call on this would be 2 to 5 inches. Obviously, this is not a huge blockbuster snowstorm event. Now, one of our computer models does hint at a much bigger storm, and one hints at a much smaller one. That's why right now, this is our early call. We need you to stay tuned for the rest of the weekend as we get more information. We backtrack just for a second this afternoon. By the afternoon, it's not quite as bad with the temperatures. Low 30s, winds not so bad either, 5 to 15 miles an hour. And you can see across the board, temperatures fairly even by location as we go into the low 30s. Now tonight, not nearly as cold as last night. You can see mid to upper 20s. I mean, it's all relative, right? But that's not too bad. Tomorrow, rain-snow mix. Monday is our snow. And then, unfortunately, the cold just settles in once again. An Arctic chunk of air tries to make another run at us. So that's why you see these temperatures through the middle of the week. Only 20s for highs and single numbers for lows. Potentially a little more reasonable by late Friday, but that could come with a rain-snow mix. But I don't even want to get into that just yet. Let's just focus on the current storm that's on the way. So again, a lot of uncertainty with this forecast, Susan. That's why we need you to stay tuned both online and on the air throughout the day.
The 30s today seem kind of balmy compared to what it was when I walked out of my house this morning. It almost took my breath away. Yeah,
you mentioned that. I mean, single digits, we do get those around here, but they're somewhat unusual. So you definitely notice it when you step outside the door.
Bundle up.
Yep.
Thanks, Pete. Covering New England this morning, the defense team for Dzhokhar Tsarnaev has filed a